Hello, hello. I just thought I would record this really quick because it impressed me. I got a blanket, obviously, for a background so you don't have to look into the tank. I was hoping it would make things a little more clear, at least down here. But anyway, we've got a whole set of blooms. I didn't count them. In other videos I've counted the blooms. There's like 12 or 13, something like that. But the part that impressed me is this is a whole set of blooms that it opened, and then it decided to extend, which I thought, all right, you're going to extend what looks like one. But it looks like it's going to open this one with the previous set, which is kind of impressive. And it does have, I think it's too small for the camera to get. It does have the green tip. It might decide to, shoot out even more blooms. But it's got all these blooms. And then it said, well, I can push out at least one more. So, okay, that's kind of impressive. It's never done that before. It has done an extension and done better than the first one with the set. But they weren't both out at the same time. The first set died. It brought out even more blooms on the second set. But the first set died first. This time, the second set is pathetic with one. But it looks like it's going to open at the same time as everybody else and just add one. Because these don't look like they're ready to go over yet. They're aging, but they don't look like they're ready to go over yet. Okay, so that's what it's doing as far as the blooms go. And the bloom spike. Up here at the plant level, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I did notice another leaf. I can see, I don't know if you can, but I can see the leaf just starting. So it's blooming and bringing out a leaf and extending its blooms. So it's extending its blooms, adding one more. It's growing a leaf. And up here with some of the, dead leaves on the bamboo, it's growing roots. All at the same time. So it's extending its blooms, it's growing a leaf, and it's extending its roots. Every time I think this plant can't do more at the same time, it goes and adds something. Crazy. Just crazy. But it looks like the only blooms I'm going to have for a while, because the one behind it, still trying to recover from the neglect. This one over here, really should have taken care of those dead leaves before I started. It's doing a little bit of root work. I don't remember what color that one was. So that's 3 of the 5 that I was left with. Yeah, I had quite a few die. The neglect was too much for quite a few of them. I had a bunch die. I've got 5 phals left. And an idea that eventually I might try to branch out into other species again. So far I've got luck with phals. unless I neglect them, and then they are phals. So don't neglect your plants, I guess, is the moral of the story. Anyhow, that's it. This plant just continues to impress me. Every time I think it's doing everything a phal can do at the same time, it goes and adds something. Supporting its blooms, decided to add one more, and then it figured, oh, I'll grow a leaf and I'll extend my roots as well. Not to mention, it's still hanging on to this old spike. The only old spike I've got, but it's now the old. Well, of course, it's the oldest. Oh, and I was in a store, and they tried to tell me, because I was talking about not cutting spikes, mostly because you might introduce infection into the plant if you're not careful. They said, well, you gotta cut your spikes, because if you don't cut your spikes, then new ones can't grow. They can argue that with this plant. You've all seen this spike, and now there's this one. You know, you can look at some of my older videos, and that myth pretty much debunks itself. Between mine, which my plants pretty much debunk it, and you can go look at some of Rick L's old videos, which sadly is all he has now. His plants debunk it as well. Okay, well, that's all I've got for this one. Talk to you next time.